My child, tonight I come near to you and I speak to you as you rest. I see the way your thoughts circle around unfinished tasks and hidden worries. I see how your heart longs for a place where nothing demands your effort and nothing pulls you away from peace. I invite you now into a simple holy picture, a quiet day in my presence, a day where snow falls gently outside and you stay inside with me. A day where you are not chasing anything and not proving anything. A day where you simply belong to me and rest in that belonging. I want you to think with me about peace, my child. Not the fragile peace the world promises and then quickly takes away, but the deep, steady calm that comes from walking with me. Peace can be understood as freedom from disturbance and the presence of inner tranquility. Yet what I give you goes even deeper than a human definition. Life around you will never be perfect. Circumstances will rise and fall like waves. But I, your Lord, remain constant. I do not change. I do not grow weary. And when you walk with me, you carry my peace into every season. Imagine a very ordinary day, my child, not full of noise or travel or crowds, but a day where you stay at home while new snow rests outside in quiet layers. No one is calling you to hurry. No schedule is chasing you from one obligation to another. The world outside is hushed under a soft white blanket, and inside I invite your soul into the same stillness. On such a day you do not need to perform. You do not need to impress. You simply breathe and notice that I am with you. I am the one who fills this simple room with holy calm. Many of my children before you tried to describe this peace, my child. They wrote that my peace rises above what the mind can measure or explain. They said that my peace guards the heart and the thoughts of those who live in me. Others said that I keep in perfect peace the one whose mind stays fixed on me, because that one chooses to trust. These words are not just ideas on a page. They are living truth. They are testimonies from souls who discovered that when everything else shook, I remained the same and my peace remained with them. Tonight I want you to remember that I am the giver of peace, and I am also the one who is worthy of your trust, my child. My peace is not a distant reward reserved for a few special people. It is a gift I delight to place in the hands of those who come to me as you are coming now. When you turn your attention away from the noise and toward my nearness, when you let yourself be still long enough to notice that I am here, you begin to experience what those writers tasted many generations ago, and your heart learns again that resting in me is safe. So now, my beloved child, let us begin to prepare for this night of rest. The day is finished and nothing more is required of you now. There is no expectation from me that you must fix everything before you sleep. There is no demand from me that you must be strong enough to carry all that has happened. Instead, I invite you to lay down the weight you have been holding. I invite you to release your grip on every worry and place it gently into my hands, the hands that were stretched out for you in love and still hold you now. First, let us prepare your mind, my child. Notice what is trying to take the first place in your thoughts. Perhaps there are conversations replaying again and again. Perhaps there are regrets or plans that refuse to be quiet. You do not need to push these thoughts away with force. Simply acknowledge them in my presence. See them as small birds fluttering above your head. Then choose to let them fly into my care. Tell your mind that this day has come to a close and that there is a better place for these concerns. In my wisdom and my timing, I will handle what you entrust to me. Now allow your attention to move slowly to your body, my child. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Notice the way your shoulders may still be tense from all that you carried today. Notice the muscles in your face and your neck and your back. You do not need to judge any of these sensations. Simply become aware of them while you know that I am near. As you notice each place of tightness, imagine my hand resting there with kindness. Where there is discomfort, I am able to bring ease. Where there is exhaustion, I am able to bring quiet strength. Where there is restlessness, I am able to bring calm. Beneath your thoughts and your body, there is your heart, my child, the quiet inner place where your true fears and hopes are hidden. Tonight I invite you to recognize that I am closer to that hidden place than your own breath. I know the parts of you that feel fragile and the parts of you that pretend to be strong. I see the moments when you felt alone even when people were around you, and I see the moments when you tried to be brave while your soul trembled. In all of this I have never turned my face away from you. I have remained beside you even when you did not feel me there. As you lie here now, I speak to your heart as one who loves you more than you understand. You are my beloved child, and your value does not depend on how much you achieved today. Your worth is not measured by the tasks you completed or the tasks you left undone. You are precious to me because you are mine. Tonight I want you to rest in that simple truth. Like snow that quietly covers the ground and softens every sharp edge, my peace can settle over your inner world and soften the edges of your fears. Let this be the beginning of our quiet day together, a day and a night where you learn again what it means to rest in me and to belong completely to me. My child, now that your heart has begun to quiet, I invite you to move even more gently into this space of rest with me. You have spent so many days reacting to noise and demands that stillness may feel unfamiliar. But stillness with me is not empty. It is full of my presence. I am here as your Lord and your friend. I am not rushing you. I am not impatient with your slowness. I am pleased that you have chosen to pause and to listen. Let every thought that tries to hurry you fade into the background as you turn your full attention toward me. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, my child. Feel the coolness of the air as it enters. Notice how your chest and your stomach rise as your lungs receive what they need. Now release that breath gently through your mouth. Feel the soft collapse of your chest as the air leaves your body. Do this again and again at a gentle pace. Do not force it. Let each breath be like a quiet prayer. As you breathe in, imagine you are receiving my peace. As you breathe out, imagine you are letting go of what does not belong to you. Let your breathing become a slow river that carries you toward rest. As you continue to breathe in this way, become aware of how your body feels against the place where you are lying or sitting. Feel the weight of your head resting. Feel the relaxation that moves down your neck as you release the strain of holding yourself upright through a long day. Let your shoulders drop a little lower. Let your arms become heavy. Let your hands loosen their grip as if they are finally setting down invisible burdens they have held for far too long. Notice your back, your chest, your stomach, your hips, your legs, your feet. With every breath, invite each part to soften under my kindness. If there is any part of your body that calls out more loudly for your attention, my child, a tightness, an ache, a restless sensation, do not be afraid of it. Do not feel guilty for it. Simply place that place into my care. Imagine my gentle hand resting upon that area. Imagine warmth and light flowing from my presence into the very center of that discomfort. You are not a problem for me to fix. You are my beloved to be cared for. As you notice each place of strain, remember that I carried a body. That new pain, I understand weakness. I am not far away from you in your weariness. I am near. I am compassionate. I am patient. Now let your thoughts return for a moment to the many concerns that tried to rule this day, the unfinished tasks, the decisions you have not made, the conversations that did not go as you hoped, the quiet fears that whisper about tomorrow. Do not judge yourself for these things. Simply see them one by one, and as you see each one, imagine placing it into my open hands. I am strong enough to hold what you cannot carry. I am wise enough to work in situations you cannot control. I am loving enough to watch over what matters to you even while you sleep. Tell your soul gently that this day is over and that it is safe now to release control to me. You may feel a part of you resist this letting go, my child, because you have learned for many years to survive by staying alert, always thinking ahead, always preparing for what could go wrong. I see this habit in you and I do not condemn you for it. Yet tonight I want to teach your heart a different way. I want to show you that you can rest not because everything around you is secure in your hands, but because everything around you is held in mine. The world does not fall apart when you close your eyes. The story of your life does not end because you finally lie down. I remain awake. I remain faithful. I remain present. Bring your attention now to the room around you. Even with your eyes closed, you can sense that this space is quieter than the world outside. Perhaps there's a soft sound. Perhaps there's a still silence. Either way, I am here in this room with you. There is no corner I do not fill with my presence. There is no darkness that hides you from my gaze. This place is not just a bedroom, it is a small sanctuary tonight. A simple holy place where you and I share this gentle conversation. Let this awareness calm you. You are not abandoned. You are not overlooked. You are seen and surrounded. In your heart, begin to speak to me in simple words. You do not need impressive language. You do not need long speeches. You can say things as small as I am tired, or as honest as I am afraid, or as soft as I am thankful. Every quiet word you whisper inside is heard by me more clearly than the loudest noise of the world. I am not distracted. I do not turn away. When you speak, I listen with full attention. When you sigh, I understand the weight behind that breath. When you fall into silence, I remain with you in that silence. I do not need many words to know you, but I love when you choose to open your heart to me. Now, my child, imagine that I stand beside your bed. Not as a distant idea, but as a living, gentle presence. I look at you with eyes full of tenderness. There is no anger in my gaze. There is no disappointment. There is only delight and compassion. I see not only who you have been today but who you are becoming in me. I see the wounds that shaped your reactions. I see the hopes that kept you moving even when you were exhausted. I see the tiny moments of faithfulness that no one else praised, and I whisper over you that I am pleased you are here with me now, allowing yourself to rest. Let us together speak to the Father. Feel the nearness of my love as I lead you in this prayer. Father, we welcome your presence in this room. We thank you for this child whom you have created and loved from the beginning. This life is a gift from your hand. This heart is precious to you. We ask that your peace would settle over them like a soft blanket of snow, quieting the noise, calming the fear, easing the tightness in their weary body. We thank you that you have gone before them in every step of this day, even in the moments when they did not notice your hand at work. Father, we thank you for their desire to know you and to walk with you. Even when that desire feels small or fragile, you see it and you cherish it. Tonight as they sleep, we ask that you would refresh them in the depths of their being. Let their mind find rest from constant thinking. Let their emotions find rest from constant feeling. Let their body find rest from constant moving. We ask that you would pour your peace into every place within them that feels empty or unsettled. Fill what is lacking, steady what is shaking, soothe what is hurting. Breathe your life into all that has grown tired. My child, as we pray in this way, know that I am not far from you, observing from a distance. I am the one who stands with you before the Father. I am your advocate and your companion. I carry your story into his heart with perfect understanding. When you do not know how to explain your confusion, I do. When you cannot find words for your pain, I can. When you feel ashamed of your weakness, I remind the Father of my finished work on your behalf. You are covered by my grace. You are wrapped in my righteousness. You lie down tonight not as a rejected one, but as a welcomed and accepted child. As you feel sleep drawing nearer, I want to plant a gentle desire inside you, a longing not only for rest in your body but for a deeper peace in your everyday life. Tomorrow and the days after will still hold responsibilities. There will still be decisions and unknowns. But tonight I want a seed to be sown in your heart, the seed of a new way of living, a way of walking through each day with an awareness of my presence, of choosing moments of stillness with me even in the midst of activity, of remembering that your soul can remain at rest in me while your hands work and your feet move. When you wake after this night, my child, I desire that you wake with a renewed hunger for the peace that passes understanding, not the peace that disappears when things go wrong, but the peace that remains when circumstances are confusing. This peace grows as you learn to trust me in both small and large things, as you practice handing each new care into my hands, as you pause throughout your day to breathe and remember that I am near. The more you turn your gaze toward me, the more your heart will discover that I am fully trustworthy, that I do not abandon what I begin, that I walk with you in every season. For now, let all of this simply rest within you like gentle snowflakes falling one by one. You do not need to force yourself to understand everything. You do not need to work to make peace happen. You only need to receive. With each breath, allow my presence to sink deeper into your awareness. With each exhale, allow tension to leave your body. picture yourself being carried in my arms, safe, held, protected. I am your refuge and your rest. I am your peace in the night and your light in the morning. As you drift towards sleep, know that you are not alone in the darkness. I am here, and I will remain with you until the new day dawns. Now, my child, I invite you to step with me into a gentle picture of rest during the day. You have begun to quiet your heart in the night, and now I want to show you how my peace can fill an ordinary day from the moment you wake. Do not strain to imagine it perfectly. Simply let the scene unfold slowly in your mind as I walk with you through it. This is not an escape from reality. It is a way for your soul to learn what it means to live with me in stillness and trust. Imagine that you are spending a weekend in a small wooden cabin, my child. The kind of place that sits quietly at the edge of a field or near a line of trees. There are no city sounds here, no traffic, no constant notifications from devices, only a deep hush that seems to rest over everything. It is early on a simple day, and you are still in bed. There is no alarm set, no schedule waiting for you. No list beside your pillow reminding you of what must be done. You wake simply because your body has had enough rest, slowly, gently, without rush. As your eyes open, you lie still for a moment and remember, this is the day with no agenda, the day you set aside to do nothing but breathe, notice, and rest in my presence. Your first feeling is not dread of responsibilities but relief. You remember that today you are not expected to hurry, not expected to be productive. You are free to be with me in the quiet. This simple realization already begins to soften your chest. The usual weight on your heart feels lighter, and in that first moment of consciousness you whisper within yourself that this day is a gift. You remain under the covers for a little while longer, my child. You listen to the silence around you, and as you listen more carefully you realize the silence is not completely empty. There is a soft stillness in the air, and beneath it you can almost sense the gentle presence of falling snow outside. You do not hear busy noises, only the faintest hush that comes when the world is wrapped in white. Your breathing is slow. Your thoughts are not yet crowded, and I am there with you in that early morning calm, pleased that you are allowing your soul to wake slowly instead of leaping into anxiety. When you are ready, you sit up in bed. The room is dim but not dark. Soft light filters through the curtains. The air feels cool but not harsh. You place your feet on the floor and feel the firmness beneath you. There is nothing in this moment that demands speed. You stand and stretch gently, feeling your muscles lengthen after the night of stillness. Each simple movement is like a small act of gratitude. Your body is here. Your breath is here. I am here, and the day has not yet placed any pressure on you. It is open, wide, and mercifully slow. You move through a simple morning routine, my child. Perhaps you wash your face with cool water, feeling freshness against your skin. Perhaps you drink a glass of water and notice how even this ordinary act feels more meaningful when you are not rushing. There is no need to multitask now. No need to check a screen while you drink. You are simply present to this small moment, and as you stand there I quietly remind you that I am present too. not only in big spiritual experiences but in these tiny movements that make up your day. From there you walk into the living room of the cabin. The wooden floor creaks softly under your feet. You go to the window and gently pull back the curtain or open the blinds, and the sight before you makes your breath catch. The world outside is covered in fresh snow. It lies smooth and untouched, as if no one has yet walked across it. The trees stand quiet with white resting on their branches. The sky is pale and still, and the light that reflects off the snow fills the room with a gentle glow. You stand there taking it in, letting your eyes rest on this calm landscape that I have painted for you. As you gaze out, my child, you begin to sense something deeper than just the beauty of nature. The unmarked snow speaks to you of quiet, of newness, of a world that has been hushed so that your soul can listen. There are no footprints yet, no marks of hurry, no heavy tracks of rushing people. For a moment you see this day as a wide field where nothing has been written. And I whisper to your heart that you do not need to fill it with frantic activity for it to matter. This day will be holy not because of how much you do, but because of how deeply you rest in me. After standing at the window for a while, you turn toward the small kitchen. The space is simple: a counter, a few cabinets, a stove, a sink, everything you need but nothing extravagant. You decide to make a warm drink, something gentle to accompany this quiet morning. Your eyes see an electric kettle on the counter, quick and efficient, but then you remember the old metal kettle you noticed in the cupboard the night before. Its handle worn smooth from many years of use, its surface marked with small speckles of color, and your heart is drawn to it. It feels slower, more human, more in line with the pace your soul longs for today. You open the wooden cabinet door. The hinges give a soft sound, and there on the shelf sits the old kettle, familiar and almost comforting. You lift it by the handle and feel the pleasant weight in your hand. You carry it to the sink, remove the lid, and let cool water run into it. At first you fill only a little and swirl it around, rinsing away anything left from the last time. Then you pour the water out and listen to the splash as it hits the metal of the sink. Simple sounds, simple actions, but all of them weave together into a kind of quiet prayer. Your body is moving slowly. Your mind is not racing ahead. You are here, and I am here with you. You fill the kettle again, this time with enough water for a generous cup or maybe two. Placing the lid back on with a soft click, you carry it to the stove and set it on a burner. Your hand turns the knob, the flame or the heat rises, and the kettle begins its slow work of warming the water. There is no impatience in this moment. You know this way takes longer than an electric kettle, but that is the point. The delay is not a problem but a gift. It gives your mind space to breathe. It gives your heart space to feel the quiet. It gives you a chance to sense my peace surrounding these ordinary acts. While the water warms, you open another cupboard and find a small wooden box with a glass lid. Inside are rows of different tea packets, each with its own color and scent. You lift the lid and a mixture of gentle fragrances rises to greet you. There is something childlike and joyful in this simple choice. You take your time, not hurrying to decide. Your fingers move slowly from one packet to another, reading names, noticing colors, inhaling soft hints of herbs and flowers. You do not need to pick the perfect one. You simply choose one that feels kind to your soul in this moment, and as you choose, I smile over your small delight. You close the box and place it back. Then you hear the first faint sound of the kettle as the water nears boiling, a low whisper that grows into a gentle song. Soon it will be ready. You take out a mug, one that feels comfortable in your hand, perhaps with a simple design that does not shout for attention. You tear open the tea packet and place the bag in the mug. Then take the kettle off the heat and pour the hot water slowly, watching the steam rise in curling lines through the air. The warmth, the scent, the soft sounds of pouring water, all of this gathers around you like a small circle of comfort, and I am present in the middle of that circle, unseen but very near. You may add honey, or milk, or nothing at all. The choice is yours. What matters is not the exact flavor but the way you are allowing this morning to be unhurried. While you stand there holding the warm mug between your hands, you begin to realize how rarely you let yourself move this slowly. In most days you rush through your first moments, thinking already of tasks, expectations, and problems. But now there is only this cabin, this snow, this cup, this breath, and my quiet presence. You feel gratitude rise in you, not as a duty but as a natural response to the kindness that has been placed before you. My child, as you carry the mug into the living room and sit down in a comfortable place, perhaps on a simple couch or a soft chair, I want you to notice what is happening inside you. The outside world is the same as before. Stories and troubles continue in other places, yet within these walls there is a bubble of stillness, and within your heart there is a beginning of deep rest. You are not pretending that life has no challenges. You are not denying the weight of your responsibilities. You are simply choosing, for this day, to let your soul breathe in my peace. And as you sip your drink and look once more at the snow outside, you begin to understand that my peace is not an idea far away. It is a real presence, as close to you as the cup in your hands and the breath in your lungs. My child, as you sit there with the warm cup in your hands, I invite you to notice the room around you. The cabin is simple, yet there is a quiet beauty in this simplicity. The wooden walls hold the memory of many quiet days. The floor bears the soft marks of many footsteps. There is a sense that this place has seen both silence and laughter, and now it is watching over your day of rest. I am here in this room with you, breathing my peace into every corner. Your eyes move from the window to a small shelf along one wall. On it you see several candles lined up, each one a small possibility of light, different shapes, different containers, different colors of wax. You rise slowly and walk over to them. There is no hurry in your movement. You lift the first candle, a small glass jar with deep green wax inside. You open the lid and breathe in the scent. It is like trees and cool air, like walking through a forest, grounding and steady. You feel your shoulders relax a little more as you inhale. You set that candle down and pick up another, this one in a simple metal tin, When you open it, you see light cream wax and a sweet warm fragrance rises to meet you. It smells of vanilla and comfort in childhood kitchens. It feels like being wrapped in a soft blanket, known and safe. You close your eyes for a moment and let the scent stir gentle memories. Not to make you sad, but to remind you that goodness has been present in your story even when you did not fully see it. You reach for a third candle, this time in a larger glass jar. The wax is a soft pale purple, and when you remove the lid, the aroma that drifts out is light and fresh, like lavender in a quiet field. It speaks of rest and calm and healing. As you breathe it in, you sense how much your soul longs for this kind of soothing, not only today but through many seasons. You realize how often you have pushed yourself to keep going while the deeper parts of you cried out for rest, and I stand beside you, understanding every unspoken ache. After considering each candle, my child, you choose one to light. There is no right or wrong choice here. What matters is that you are allowing yourself to enjoy this simple act. You take a small box of matches from the shelf, slide open the inner tray, and feel the tiny sticks move gently against one another. You strike one along the rough strip, watching the sudden flare of fire, then carefully bring it to the wick. The flame catches, small but alive, and you blow out the match, leaving behind a single quiet light that begins to glow in the calm air. You carry the candle to the small table beside your place on the couch. The flame flickers softly, casting warm light on your hands and on the mug of tea. The window lets in the pale brightness of snow outside. The candle adds a gentle golden hue within, and between these two lights you sit, my child, held by the peace of creation and the peace of my presence. You take a slow sip of your drink, feel the warmth spread through your chest, and allow gratitude to rise, not forced, simply acknowledged. In this place I invite you to remember my words given long ago. One of my servants wrote that the peace of God is greater than all that the human mind can understand. He said that this peace will guard your heart and your thoughts in Christ Jesus. As you sit here in the cabin, you begin to sense what that means in a very simple way. Your mind has not suddenly solved every problem. Your life has not become perfect. Yet something deep within you is calmer than it was. There is a quiet guard, standing watch over your inner world, and that guard is my peace. You think back over other seasons of your life, my child. Not only days like this, but days filled with confusion and loss. Times when sorrow rolled over you like heavy waves. Times when you felt as if you would surely be crushed. And yet even there, sometimes very faintly, you sensed a strange steadiness that did not come from you. Looking back, you can see that it was my peace, holding you when you did not know how to hold yourself, keeping you from breaking completely when everything felt too much to bear. I was there in those moments, just as I am here now. Still seated on the couch, you reach for a simple remote on the table. Slowly you navigate through a quiet menu on the screen in front of you. You are not searching for noise or distraction. You are looking for something that will help your heart turn toward me. You find a selection of gentle worship songs, and with one small press of your finger, music begins to flow softly into the room. Not loud, not demanding, just a gentle offering of melody and truth, weaving through the candlelight and mingling with the stillness. As the music plays, I invite you to close your eyes for a moment. Notice how the notes seem to move through the very air you breathe. Notice how your chest rises and falls in time with the rhythm, each inhale a receiving, each exhale a releasing. Breathe in slowly, my child, and in your heart say that you are open to my peace. Breathe out slowly, and in your heart say that you are willing to let go of what weighs you down. Let your breathing and the music work together like waves washing over the shore of your soul, again and again, gently smoothing the rough places. One song ends and another begins, and as the words unfold you recognize a hymn that has carried many of my children through storms. It speaks about peace like a river that accompanies the path, about sorrows that rise like powerful waves, and yet in the midst of all of it the soul that sings is able to say that all is well inside. You do not have to sing aloud unless you wish to, but you listen, and as you listen you feel the weight of those words. They are not the shallow optimism of someone who has never suffered. They are the deep testimony of a heart that has learned to trust me in the darkest waters. My child, I want you to know that this same testimony can live in you. It does not mean that you will never feel pain or confusion. It does not mean that you must pretend everything is fine when it is not. It means that even in the middle of very real difficulty there can be a calm center within you where I am. A place where the words "it is well" slowly become true. Not because circumstances are kind, but because I am with you. As you sit in this cabin listening to the hymn, you are practicing that posture of trust, learning to let my presence be more real to you than the storms you fear. You open your eyes again and look toward the window. The snow is still there, resting quietly on the ground and on the branches. Perhaps a few new flakes drift down. Perhaps the air is completely still. Either way, the scene outside remains calm. A picture of what I desire to do inside you, to let my peace settle over your thoughts and feelings like soft white snow, covering sharp edges, filling empty spaces, muting harsh sounds, so that within you there is room to hear my voice, room to breathe, room to rest. In this gentle moment I whisper to your heart that peace is not something you need to chase or create by your own strength. Peace is a gift that flows from who I am. I am your Lord of Peace. When you turn your mind toward me, when you allow yourself to slow down and be present with me, you open the door through which my peace can enter. This day in the cabin is a picture of that posture. A day without hurry, without a list, without constant noise. Not because lists and tasks are evil, but because your soul sometimes needs a clear space to remember that it is loved apart from its performance. So my beloved child, sit a little longer in this room with the candle burning and the music playing softly. Let the warmth in your hands, the scent of the wax, the sight of the snow, and the sound of them all become reminders that I am near. Do not rush to the next thing even in your mind. Simply be here with me. Breathe slowly, and allow yourself to feel what it is like to be fully present and fully held. This is my heart for you. Not only in a distant spiritual sense, but in the details of your real human life. I long for you to know my peace so deeply that it becomes the place where you live, not just a moment you visit. My child, as the music continues to play softly, you feel a gentle nudge within your heart to rise from the couch again. You take your warm mug into your hands and slowly stand. There is no rush in your movement, only an easy, unhurried pace. You walk toward the window once more, drawn again to the quiet world outside. You are not looking for anything dramatic, only returning to a scene that has already begun to speak peace to your soul. When you reach the window, you notice that something has changed. Earlier the sky was pale and still. The snow lay motionless on the ground. Now you see new flakes beginning to fall, small and soft, drifting slowly through the air. They turn and swirl gently as they descend, like tiny pieces of light floating down from above. The backyard is being covered again, layer upon layer, the white becoming deeper and softer with each passing moment. You stand there watching, letting your gaze rest on the quiet movement. Along the back of the yard there's a wooden fence, simple and brown. It runs around the edge of the property. Earlier it was just a line of boards. Now the top edge of the fence has become a narrow shelf of snow, a long smooth strip of white resting on the wood from one side of the yard to the other. You notice the contrast of colors, the deep brown beneath, the pure white above. It is a small detail, yet as you look at it your heart feels strangely comforted, as if even the fence has been invited into this day of rest. Your eyes move toward the center of the yard, my child. There you see a small wooden birdhouse standing on its post. The little roof is covered in snow. The tiny ledges bear their own soft piles of white. The walls of the birdhouse are painted a gentle color, perhaps blue or another simple shade, and the snow resting on the roof makes that color appear even more vivid. The scene is almost like a painting, quiet, precise, deeply peaceful. You find yourself smiling without trying, surprised that something so small can bring you such delight. Then suddenly a flash of movement appears at the edge of your vision. Something bright crosses the white background, and a small bird comes into view. A cardinal with deep red feathers lands lightly on the feeder beside the birdhouse. The red of its body and the darker shade around its face stand out strongly against the snow. The slight tilt of its head, the small movements of its wings, the gentle pecking as it finds food. All of it holds your attention. You feel as if time has slowed even more, allowing you to simply watch this tiny life in front of you. My child, as you stand there at the window, I want you to notice what is happening inside you. Your breathing is slow. Your mind is not racing forward or backward. You are simply present, watching snow fall and a bird eat in the quiet morning. And yet within this ordinary scene you sense something holy. This moment is not only about weather and wildlife. It is about my nearness, my careful provision, my gentle beauty. I care for the birds of the air, and I care for you far more. I feed them, I clothe the fields in snow and in flowers, and I do not forget your needs. A passage of my word may come to your mind. Perhaps you remember that I give strength to my people and that I bless my people with peace. not only when they stand in grand buildings or in crowded gatherings, but also when they stand alone at a window in a quiet cabin, watching snow fall on a fence, on a birdhouse, on a small red bird. You begin to understand that this day has been crafted for you as a gentle teaching, a living parable about how my peace works, layer upon layer, soft, persistent, covering the hard edges, filling the empty spaces. I want you to see clearly, my child, that it is not the lack of tasks that creates this peace. An empty calendar alone does not heal the soul. There are days when people have nothing to do and still feel restless and anxious. The true difference in this day is that your emptiness has been filled with my presence. You have made space to notice me, to hear me, to breathe with me. Simplicity by itself can be lonely, but simplicity shared with me becomes sanctuary. It becomes a place where you remember who you are and whose you are. As you keep watching the snow and the bird, you may remember seasons when your life was the opposite of this scene. Times when everything felt crowded and loud, when demands pulled you in many directions, when your heart felt like a street filled with traffic. In those seasons it may have seemed impossible to find peace, and yet even there I was near. Sometimes my peace came to you in very small ways. A kind word, a moment of silence, a brief prayer whispered between tasks. These were like single snowflakes landing on the hard ground of your day, gentle and almost unnoticed, but still real. Now in this cabin I give you a clearer picture of what I desire to do in you, not only for one weekend but throughout your life. I long to cover your inner world with my peace the way snow covers this yard, to quiet the noise inside you, to soften the harsh thoughts you speak to yourself, to still the constant motion of fear and striving. I do not promise a life without responsibility or without storms, but I do promise that my presence is enough to hold you in every circumstance. My peace can guard your heart like a strong wall, even when the winds of trouble blow. You take another sip of your warm drink, feeling the heat spread through your body. And in that simple act you sense a response rising within you, gratitude, not only for the beauty of the day but for the one who has given it to you. You realize that you have been invited into something more than relaxation. You have been invited into communion with me, into a deeper trust, into a way of being where your soul leans on me instead of carrying everything alone. This awareness is itself a quiet miracle, a gentle turning of your heart toward hope. My child, I speak softly to you now, letting my words settle in your spirit. I am always near, not only in cabins and quiet places. Even when you return to ordinary days with full schedules, I will be with you. The peace you taste here is not locked in this location. It flows from my heart, and my heart does not leave you. When you sit at a desk, when you walk down a busy street, when you stand in a crowded room, my presence is just as close as it is now. You may not always feel it as clearly, but it is true, and the more you practice turning your attention to me, the more aware you will become. For a moment let us stand together in silence as you look out at the snow. Feel the floor under your feet. Notice the weight of the mug in your hands, the gentle warmth in your chest, the soft music still playing behind you. Let all of these small details remind you that you are held, that nothing in this moment depends on your performance. You are simply here, breathing, seeing, listening, and I am delighted to share this time with you. I am not impatient for you to move on. I am content to simply be with you as the snow falls outside. In your heart you can offer a simple prayer. It does not need many words. You might say thank you for this day, or you might say teach me to rest in you, or you might say help me trust your peace. Whatever rises honestly from within you, let it come. I hear it all, and I answer not only with promises but with my presence. I am already at work within you, even before you have the language to describe what is changing. I am shaping your heart to live more gently, more slowly, more consciously, aware that I am your refuge and your peace. Soon you will move on to the next quiet moments of this day. Perhaps you will sit again. Perhaps you will read. Perhaps you will simply continue to watch the snow. But before we move further, I want you to receive this truth deeply, my child. You are not an outsider to my peace. You are not someone I overlook while I bless others. You are my beloved, and I desire for my peace to rest on you, to fill you, to flow through you, just as surely as the snow now rests on the ground and the fence and the little birdhouse in the yard. My peace is meant to rest on the landscape of your life, soft and steady, a constant reminder that I am with you and that you are never alone. My child, as the quiet day in the cabin begins to move toward evening, I invite you to notice how your heart feels now compared to when we first began this journey. Earlier your thoughts were crowded and your body was tired. Now there is a softer rhythm inside you, a slower pace in your breathing, a deeper stillness at the center of your soul. This has not happened by accident. It is the gentle work of my peace, a gift I have been pouring over you like the snow that has been falling outside all day. You leave the window and move back toward the couch. The candle is still burning, its small flame steady and warm. The music in the background has shifted to quieter songs, simple melodies that feel more like whispered prayers than performances. You sit down again, set your empty or nearly empty mug on the table, and lean back, letting the cushions hold your weight. You have done very little today by the measures of the world, and yet something important has taken place. You have practiced being with me without hurry, without duty, without striving. My child, I want you to understand that this kind of day is not wasted time. In a world that praises constant activity, it can feel strange to have a day like this. A day with no list, no result to show. But your soul is not a machine. It is a living garden that needs quiet rain and gentle light. It needs space to breathe and room to grow. Today has been one of those gentle rains, a slow soaking of my peace. Your heart may not fully grasp it yet, but the rest you taste here will bear fruit in the days ahead, in how you speak, how you choose, how you trust. You sit in silence for a little while, watching the candle, feeling the warmth in the room. Outside, the sky is beginning to change. The light grows softer. The shadows stretch a little longer across the snow. A hint of evening begins to settle over the landscape. It is not a heavy darkness. It is a calm dimming, like a quiet invitation to release the day into my hands. As the light shifts outside, something in you responds. You sense that this simple day is coming to a close, and with that awareness comes a gentle desire to speak with me again in a more focused way. My child, let us turn this closing of the day into a prayer, not a formal recitation, but a simple, honest conversation of gratitude and trust. In your heart or with your lips, you can follow my leading as I speak over you and with you. Father, we thank you for this day of peaceful rest. We thank you for the gift of slow hours and open moments, for the chance to step away from constant demands and remember your nearness. Thank you for the beauty of snow and the warmth of tea, for the small delight of a candle flame and the comfort of quiet music. Thank you for every gentle sign that you have been close. Father, we recognize how rare it feels to disconnect from the circle of responsibilities that surround most days. Even now, there are things waiting outside this cabin, situations that are not yet resolved, tasks that will still need attention. But we bring all of that to you. We acknowledge that this child of yours cannot carry everything alone, that they were never meant to live as if the world depended on their strength. We ask that the peace they have tasted today would follow them into those future moments, that the calm of this cabin would remain as a memory inside their heart, a place they can return to with you even when life grows busy again. My beloved child, as this prayer continues, I want you to hear my voice speaking directly to you. I call you beloved because that is who you are to me. You are not an afterthought, not a burden, not a project that I regret. You are a joy to my heart. I delight in every step you take toward me, even the small and hesitant ones. I see how you have opened your heart today, how you have allowed yourself to slow down and listen, and I am pleased, not because you have performed well, but because you have allowed yourself to be present with me, to receive rather than constantly strive. There have been many days in your life when you felt you had to earn your worth, my child. You worked hard to be enough, to be accepted, to be safe. You measured yourself by your productivity, by the approval of others, by how much you could handle without breaking. But I have never measured you that way. Even on your most chaotic days, my gaze toward you has been the same as it is now, full of compassion and love. Tonight I invite you once more to lay down those old measures, to let go of the belief that you must do more to deserve peace. My peace is a gift, not a payment. You shift slightly on the couch, finding a more comfortable position. Perhaps you lie back and rest your head. Perhaps you curl your legs beneath you. As your body adjusts to this posture of rest, I want your heart to adjust as well. Imagine that all the places inside you that are tense or guarded begin to soften. The parts of you that expect rejection, the parts that brace for disappointment, the parts that are always waiting for something to go wrong. Let my voice move gently through those inner rooms, like a soft light entering each space. I am not here to accuse you. I am here to heal you. My child, I bless your mind with peace. I speak calm over the patterns of constant worry that have become familiar to you. I bless your thoughts with the ability to pause, to breathe, to notice my presence before rushing into fear. I bless your memories with my healing touch, that old scenes of pain and failure would begin to lose their power to define you, that you would see those moments now wrapped in my mercy. I bless your imagination, that instead of always rehearsing disaster it would begin to imagine what it looks like to walk each day with me as your companion. I bless your heart with peace. I speak comfort over the places inside you that feel lonely or unseen. May you know in the deepest part of your being that I see you, that I understand you, that I cherish you. I bless you with the ability to receive love without suspicion, to believe that you are truly wanted. I bless your capacity for joy, that it would awaken again. Not as loud excitement that quickly fades, but as a gentle, steady gladness that flows from knowing you belong to me. I bless your body with peace. I speak rest over your tired muscles and weary bones. May your sleep be deep and restoring. May your breathing be calm and steady. May your heart rate slow as you surrender your cares into my hands. I bless the systems of your body, your nerves that have been on alert for so long, your mind that has been overstimulated, your senses that have been flooded. May they all find a new rhythm in my presence, a rhythm of trust instead of fear, of rest instead of constant vigilance. My child, there is a blessing spoken long ago by my servant. It says that the Lord of peace himself will give you peace at all times and in every situation. I want you to hear those words as a promise spoken over you tonight, not as dry religious language but as living truth. I am the Lord of peace. I myself am your peace. And I desire to give you my peace again and again, when you lie down and when you rise, when the road is easy and when it is difficult, when you feel me clearly and when you feel nothing at all. My peace is not limited by your emotions. It flows from my unchanging heart. As this day in the cabin comes to an end, imagine that you prepare for sleep once more. The candle is blown out, its soft smoke rising for a brief moment before disappearing. The mug is empty, the room grows dim. You move to the bed and lie down, feeling the support beneath you. Outside, the snow still rests on the ground, quiet and faithful. Inside, my presence rests on you in the same way, quiet and faithful. You pull the covers up around you and feel your body begin to sink more deeply into rest. You are safe here, not because the world has no danger, but because you are in my care. My child, as your eyes grow heavy, I want these truths to be the last thoughts that linger in your mind. You are loved more than you can measure. You are fully known and fully accepted by me. Your past does not disqualify you from my peace. Your weaknesses do not drive me away. Your questions do not scare me. I am committed to you. I walk with you. I surround you. I go before you into tomorrow, and I stand behind you to cover what is unfinished. You are never walking through any valley alone. If waking thoughts try to return with worries about the future, gently remind your soul that you have given this night and this day into my hands. You can say within yourself simple words such as I trust you, or I rest in you. Each time you do, it is like laying another small stone in a path of faith. Over time, that path will become more and more familiar, a way your heart knows how to walk, even when storms come. The habit of turning toward me, the memory of my peace in this cabin, will help you find your footing again. Now, my beloved child, let my peace that goes beyond all understanding guard your heart and your mind as you sleep. Let it stand like a gentle but strong watchman at the door of your inner world, refusing entrance to fear and condemnation, welcoming instead my truth and my comfort. May this peace settle over you like the snow that has covered the yard, quiet, soft, and complete. May it rest on your thoughts, your dreams, your breathing, your body, until morning comes. When you wake, whether in the middle of the night or with the light of a new day, remember that I am near. The Lord of peace is not far away or hard to reach. Simply whisper my name in your heart and know that I am listening. Know that I am with you in that moment just as surely as I am with you now. This is my blessing for you, that you would live each day and each night aware of my nearness, held by my peace, and strengthened by my love. Now rest, my child, and let your whole being sink into the safety of my arms, for you belong to me, and I will watch over you until the morning light. My child, there is one more thing I want to share with you as you rest in my peace. We have walked together through the quiet of the night, through the gentle morning in the cabin, through the falling snow and the simple beauty of stillness. Now I want to take what you have seen in this holy picture and gently place it into the real days that wait for you, so that this peace does not stay only in a story but becomes a living way for you to walk. You will not always wake in a cabin surrounded by snow. You will wake in your own room, in your own life, with its familiar walls and its familiar sounds. Sometimes there will be noise all around you. Sometimes there will be demands waiting before you even open your eyes. Yet even there I am the same Lord who met you in the quiet. My presence does not depend on the scenery. My peace does not depend on the weather. The same love that covered you in the cabin is with you when you rise to face an ordinary day. My child, I want you to remember the first moments of that simple morning, how you lay still for a while and allowed your heart to remember that the day was a gift. The world tells you to jump up quickly, to rush toward tasks, to measure your value by how fast you move. But I invite you into a different beginning. When you wake, even if only for a brief pause, breathe slowly and remember that I am near. Let your first thought be that you belong to me. Let your first quiet word be a simple invitation, a gentle Lord, I am here. And in that small opening my peace can begin to flow. There will be days when you cannot move slowly on the outside, when responsibilities press in and you must act quickly. Yet even then your soul can learn to keep a slower rhythm inside, just as snow can fall softly even when the world continues its motion. My peace can rest in your heart even when your hands are busy. You can carry the memory of the cabin within you, the sense of sitting with a warm cup, watching quiet light on the snow. You can breathe for a few seconds and silently lean into me, and in that moment your inner world can be steadied again. I do not ask you to create a perfect atmosphere around you every day, my child. I know that life is often messy and unpredictable. I know that people around you do not always move at the pace of peace. I know that pressures come without warning. This is why I give you something deeper than outer calm. I give you my own presence within you. I give you the Holy Spirit as comfort and guide. I offer a peace that is not fragile but rooted in who I am. This peace can survive noise, survive change. Survive disappointment, because it is not built on circumstances, it is built on my faithful heart. Think of the kettle you used in the cabin. It took longer than the quick machines, yet that time of waiting became part of your rest. In your real days there will be many such small moments, waiting in a line, sitting on a bus, pausing between tasks. These pieces of time can feel empty or irritating if you see them only as delays. But if you choose to see them as invitations, they become little altars in your day, places where you can breathe, turn your mind toward me, and whisper from your heart that you trust me. In these hidden pauses my peace will meet you again and again. My child, I also want you to remember the candles and the music, the way simple things turned your attention toward me. In your ordinary life you can create small reminders of my presence, a verse written where your eyes often look, a song that lifts your heart toward gratitude, a moment at the beginning of a meal where you silently thank me. These are not heavy rules. They are gentle anchors. They help your mind return to the truth that I am with you. They help your heart remember that peace is near, that you do not walk through the day alone. There will be days when you forget all of this, days when you rush, worry, speak harshly, or feel overwhelmed. I see those days before they arrive, and still I do not withdraw my love. When you notice that your heart has drifted far from peace, do not sink into shame. Do not tell yourself that you have failed beyond repair. Simply turn back to me, even in the middle of the noise. A single deep breath with your heart turned toward me is a step back into my peace. I do not scold you for coming back too often. I rejoice every time you return. My child, the peace I give you is not only for you, it is also a gift I long to share through you. Think of how the quiet of the cabin would feel to someone who has lived only in endless noise. Think of how the steady falling snow would soothe a heart that has never been allowed to rest. There are people around you whose souls are tired and afraid. They may not know how to name it, but they are longing for a place where they can breathe. When my peace lives in you, your presence can become a small refuge for them. Your calm can become a gentle doorway through which they begin to sense that I am near. You do not need special words to carry my peace to others. Sometimes it will be the way you listen without hurrying them. Sometimes it will be the softness in your tone. Sometimes it will be the patience you show when others expect anger. Sometimes it will be a quiet prayer you lift in your heart while you talk with someone, asking me to touch them, asking me to surround them. In all these simple ways you become like that cabin in the snow, an ordinary place filled with an extraordinary presence, a small space where my peace is felt even if my name is not spoken aloud. Remember the red bird at the feeder, how its bright color stood out against the white. In the same way my peace in you will stand out in a world filled with fear and hurry. You may feel small and unnoticed, yet a single life that rests in me is more powerful than you imagine. I will use your quiet trust in ways you may never fully see. A gentle word here, a kind gesture there, a peaceful response in a tense moment. All of these are seeds of my kingdom, and I am the one who makes them grow. My child, when you lie down at night after a busy day, I want you to remember the snow-covered yard, the candle, the hymn about the soul that is well. Even if your day did not feel peaceful, even if you stumbled in many ways, you can still return to me before you sleep. You can still place the day into my hands. You can still ask me to wash your heart in my peace. You can still let my love cover you like soft white snow. I am not only the Lord of perfect days, I am the Lord of broken days, and my peace is strong enough to meet you there. If you wake in the middle of the night and your mind begins to race, remember the gentle breathing we practiced together. Breathe slowly and invite my peace to fill each breath. Bring to mind a simple truth, such as I am with you, or you belong to me. Let those words move through your thoughts like a quiet song. You do not have to fight your fears alone. Let me stand between your heart and the storm. Let my presence be the wall that keeps panic from breaking in. And even if sleep does not return quickly, know that I am sitting with you in the darkness, and that you are not abandoned. My child, I want you to hear once more the promise spoken long ago, that the Lord of peace himself will give you peace at all times and in every situation. Let those words sink deeper this time. All times means every season of your life, youth and age, strength and weakness, joy and sorrow. Every situation means the simple and the complex, the moments you understand and the ones that confuse you. There is no valley so deep that my peace cannot reach it. There is no storm so wild that my presence cannot stand within it. So as this final part of our story draws to a close, know that the story of my peace with you is not ending. It is only beginning in a deeper way. The cabin, the snow, the tea, the candle, the music, the red bird, all of these are pictures given to your heart so that you can remember what my peace feels like. When life becomes busy, you can return to these pictures in your mind, not as an escape but as a reminder, as a doorway back into awareness of me. And when you come, I will be there, ready to meet you again. Now, my beloved child, rest in this truth. You are held, you are loved, you are not forgotten. My peace is my gift to you, and my arms are your home. When you wake, walk through your day with the quiet knowledge that I go before you and I walk beside you. When you lie down, release your thoughts into my hands and let my peace guard your heart. In every breath, in every step, in every season, I am with you, and I will never leave you.